Good afternoon, good evening, Masha. How are you doing today?
Great.
For whomever sees this recording, Masha and I know each other very well, and she is or was a former coaching client, and she's back again. Masha, would you talk a little bit about yourself and why you are seeking coaching for yourself and for global culture brands?
Okay, so the reason why I'm seeking coaching is because I have two, I guess I would say two careers.
Hmm.
I'm a scientist by trade, and then I'm also like an artist. And so after I've been running the company freelance, like kind of like a solo entrepreneur for many, many years. However, and I've also had corporate jobs, like in addition to doing this. And so I'm at the point now where I want to, I guess, really go all in with my company. And so that's why I wanted some assistance, some coaching to make it more cohesively understandable to potential consumers. So.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about global culture brands.
Okay, I created initially it was called Global Culture Science Brands in October 2010. And that was because, like I mentioned, I was a scientist and an artist. And so basically it was an umbrella company that had like several entities dealing with entertainment, from media, and to also I did medical writing underneath the umbrella. Well, it's grown a lot since 2010, and now I currently have three brands, and all the brands serve science and the media. I have Narrate MD, which is a company that I produce panels with. Last year, I produced a panel with the Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs and NASA. That was last summer. And then I have The Media's Wife. The Media's Wife is more so like a brand geared towards I would call it like media, cultural expression, merchandise. And then we have Beyond One Drop. Beyond One Drop is an ebook publishing company that focuses on scientists of color. And that's it.
Okay. You started your company in 2010 officially. You're saying that you have operated it as a freelance venture, and now you want to, as I would say, take it to the next level or kick it into high gear. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I want to take it to the next level because the way that it worked before is like according to whatever, it's like I didn't have things very organized. I had a one-page business plan, no forecast for the business. But I think back in the day I had like blogs or I hired writers contract, and then I made money like with special events. So it's kind of like all over the place.
Mhm.
Now I want it to be more organized, more structured, and the way that I would see it working is that um, a potential customer, which would be like, depending on which brand they're buying into, would easily go to the website, book a consultation with me, or buy a product. And I have three brands, so they have, different ways to get to the product or the service. So I just would like it more standard, more organized, and just more cohesive. Like I mean, like I said, all the brands deal with science and media, you know. But I want it to be one of my issues is I want to just make sure it's clear to the potential consumer. I want it I want the way to reach me easy, not complicated. I'm blending two like multiple industries, so I want it to be easily understandable by people. Like because I know like a lot of people have either or, and like with me is two. And so I want to make sure that the way that I'm communicating who I am, what my company does is very clear. Like I'll give you an example. Last week when I was at the panel, majority of the audience were writers but also engineers are scientists. And they basically like the artists wanted to do, no, the scientists or engineers wanted to be more creative. And so that was a built-in audience. They understood my business, right? However, I know in the real world, everybody doesn't have that background. And so I just want to make sure my communication to potential clients are very clear. They're very clear what I sell, very clear in what I do, because I believe I've gotten kind of muddled with the
Okay.
communication. So,
Becoming muddled with the communication. How did that come about?
well, I feel like that came about when I'm in audiences that aren't preset. Like last week, I didn't have any issues with the communication. Everybody knew what time it was. But, like, say for instance, I'm at a charity event in Washington, D.C., right? And somebody's like, well, what do you do? What does your company do? And so that's a person who has nothing to do, and I'm just giving hypothetical. This person that has nothing to do with the sciences, nothing to do with media. But the thing is, there's still something that they can support or buy. I want to make
Mhm.
sure that I'm clear with like what I do. So
Okay.
what I do, what my company offers to them. So and by way, if I'm clear with that, it makes me indirectly more confident, if that makes sense. So,
Yes, absolutely. So you have global culture brands. You really have four businesses. You have global culture brands. You have the media's wife. Tell me the other two again.
the media's wife narrates MD,
Narrates MD.
and then the last one is Beyond One Drop.
Beyond One Drop.
Yeah, and the way I structured it is like most brands, like the Limited. I hate mentioning that because of what's going on in the news or whatever, but like
Right,
the
right.
Limited, and you have Express, you have Bath and Body, you have Victoria's Secret, and they have a lot of other brands. But
Mhm.
basically, it's one company, three brands. So
And for your three brands, how much thought have you given to mission and vision statement for all three?
for all of them, I have the product that I'm selling. I have I've modified it a bit, especially with the media's wife, because that was going to be something entirely different. So I would say at this stage right now, I have a product or service, but
Mhm.
I haven't like written out like being very specific with the brands. Besides Narrate MD, because that's the one that produced the thing last summer. So,
Mhm.
oh, and Beyond One Drop, I wrote a book. So it's already for sale. I'm making money now with it on
Nice.
Amazon. So
Okay. Would you be okay with gaming out mission statements for your three brands in order to become more clear
yep.
about who you're selling to, whether they call it the ICP, ideal client
Yeah.
profile, and that will, I think, would
Hmm.
start it stop from being a jumble?
I think so too.
Right. Okay. Okay. Which one do you want to start with first?
We can do Narrate MD.
Okay. If I did not know you and we meet at a conference, oh, this lady seems interesting. You know how they do at conferences. What do you
Yes.
do? And you're at a, let's say you're at National Medical Association conference.
Hmm.
That would make sense with that audience.
I would say, I'm trying to think. I would be like, well, thank you so much for asking. What do you do? And then go through the pleasantries or whatever. And I'm like, well, Narrate MD is this is what I wrote down, but I don't know how it's going to come off. I go, Narrate MD. I produce niche panels at film festivals, conferences, special events that combines the sciences, the arts, and culture. My last project was for the I forgot the title of the program, The Language of Cosmos in Los Angeles. It was sponsored by the Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs and NASA JPL in Pasadena. And basically, I was brought in to create a play and a panel. And it was basically a story about the cosmos, but I had to relate it to the body, the anatomy of the body. And so, what I do is I produce niche panels with subject matters, science, culture, and media.
Okay. Now imagine for a moment, I don't look anything like him. I'm the executive director of the National Medical Association.
Hmm.
When you hear what you just said, playing it back in your mind, and you think about what that organization stands for,
Hmm.
and you sitting in the executive director's seat, how does Masha's company or brand, how can they help National Medical Association? I'm sorry I'm picking on them, but this is a good
No,
example.
that's cool because I mean, like I've worked with them before, but as a writer,
Mhm.
and a media producer. With them, I narrate MD could serve as programming for
Mhm.
their like conferences. Medical association, all the different ones have medical conferences every week. So I could assist with creating a panel. I could assist with moderating a panel, and I can assist with creating a curriculum for their conferences. So
Is that a mission statement?
I don't feel like it.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to get you to focus on is something that is sharp, communicates directly. What is it that you bring to the world?
Well, I'll tell you what I did to secure at the Toronto Film Festival last year. I
Okay.
made niche panels for polymaths, scientists, and artists. That's it.
Mhm.
And that's what sold them.
Okay.
And niche means specialty conferences like Davos,
Hmm.
Toronto, Sundance, Berlin. You know what I mean? So,
Okay. I'm going to give you an example, and it's my mission statement. I don't mean to make this about me, but just an
yeah,
example to give you an idea. Uh, Hold on for 1 second because
yeah.
it is right here.
Okay.
Coaching mission statement. My mission is to motivate, inspire, and support all whom desire professional fulfillment. That's it. When you think about the points that were hit, motivate, inspire, support, and then the audience that this has been refined since
Yeah,
2020 when I first wrote it. You don't have to spit it out right now because we're going to
yeah.
edit. But think for a moment along those lines.
Mm.
How would you communicate your mission to that audience?
The thing is, I don't want to inspire
That's
because
fine. You don't have to use
scientists,
that. You don't have to
yeah,
use
scientists don't need
that.
that. They need it's more so creating a space for them. It's creating
Okay.
a space for them to understand that they can be creative. So I don't know. I would have to toy around it. I might not be able to do it this session because
No,
I would
no,
need
you
some
don't
time to
have
think
to.
it through. But
You don't
yeah,
have
it's
to.
basically creating a space for scientists to be creative. That's it.
Space.
Yeah, because a lot of scientists, they don't know. I mean, they should know this, but a lot don't understand like how much they're needed in other ways creatively. So,
Okay. Now, when you
mhm.
say that, and that's going to be your homework assignment between now
Yeah,
and the second session, because the second sessions we start talking about envisioning and executing the mission and how you want to push forth the brand.
got it.
Creating, I'm going to say the whole sentence. Narrate MD mission is to create a space for scientists to be creative. We're not wordsmithing it yet. When you hear that back to you, how does it feel?
It might not, I might have to structure a little bit because a panel is when you're bringing in people who already done it.
Hmm.
So it might be educate. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I have to toy around with that. So,
Hmm. Okay. But your feeling, do you feel like that is a mission?
like for me, it's just like I would want something like learn or if I wasn't already a scientist and an artist,
Yeah.
I would just be like, learn from experts or learn from successful people who've already done it, that kind of thing. Learn from people who are already polymaths, already
Right.
like James Cameron that did Avatar. He's a scientist and artist. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So that is how you push the mission forward, but not the mission necessarily itself.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I create mission statements for myself and I help other people to do the same is that they need their North Star somewhere.
Got
And it
it.
keeps you on track
It
as to
might be
why you're
most
doing this.
useful in this one to start with global cultures brands
Okay.
though. Yeah,
Okay. Let's
because
go upward.
that's what I'm thinking, global culture brands, only because I mean I could be wrong though, but it's like global culture brands is like the king, the queen or king or whatever, however you want to say it. And then these companies feed into that.
So
Yeah.
global culture brands, tell me
Yeah.
what you're trying to, in order to encompass all three of
I'll
these.
tell you what I have right now. Give me one
Okay.
second. What I have for my mission statement for it. Global culture brands creates and distributes media content serving the medical, scientific, healthcare, and biotech industries through a family of specialized brands.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You say that
So,
one more time.
oh yeah,
Creates.
but I think I've updated since then. I put global culture brands creates and distributes media content serving the medical, scientific, healthcare, and biotech industries through a family of specialized brands.
And if you were communicating that to person who doesn't really know about it, do you think that hones in on your message?
I can probably cut it to be like scientific, like serving the sciences. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think it does. It's the
Okay.
general sense of like because all the brands is media and
Hmm.
science, all of
Okay.
them. Mhm.
So that is the umbrella. So you are comfortable with the umbrella, but
Yep.
you still have to get comfortable with all your brands.
Yes, and I'll tell you what I have. I have my brands, missions, but like I said, I've changed this since I did my business plan. For
Hmm.
Narrate MD, I had medical and scientific copywriting services. That's what I did before I got the contract last year because I changed it to panels because it's easier to sell versus
Got
copywriting. Yeah.
it.
And then for the media's wife, I had YouTube channel focused on medical and scientific media literacy.
Mhm.
And then for Beyond One Drop, ebook series focused on founders in the sciences between races and identities.
Starting with Beyond One Drop. So I'm working my way back up.
Yeah.
What is the mission of One Drop? To do
The
what?
mission, the
Hmm.
mission is to capture
Okay.
Black or multiracial sciences and their untold stories, an ebook series.
And you have it right there. You're capturing the stories of a multicultural audience, a multicultural subset. It can stop right there. That's good. You don't
Hmm.
have to say ebook series. You don't have to do that because it's going to be obvious with the product that that's what it is.
But that's what it is. Yep,
Yeah.
books.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that last one, which we're going upwards to the middle one. So, because we took care of Narrate MD.
The media's wife. Yeah,
The
like I
media's
said, that one at first was going to be a YouTube channel focused on like scientific media literacy.
Mhm.
The thing is now, I don't know. I don't think I have time.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I've already written out a micro series that I'm gonna just do on Instagram. That's what I started today. So I
Hmm.
was like, maybe that's gonna just do that. But yeah, I was looking at the time commitment and I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to actually do a full blown
Hmm.
web series. So
So
Mhm.
with the web series,
Not web series. It's like a series. Basically,
okay.
it's like to be honest, is what I'm doing now with the story science series that I'm doing for Instagram. And
Hmm.
so, but the thing is, I created the media's wife initially being like all of that, like anything dealing with multimedia, socials, or whatever. And so, but right now, the series that I created, the story science was it? Yeah, story sciences for socials. That's just me and my personality. So the
Hmm.
media's wife as an actual brand, like a company, I
Hmm.
was just like merchandise based on media literacy.
Okay.
That's it. And merchandise is basically like sayings that I've learned in media psychology. Like, did you fact check that? And it's just a product that I could sell.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
Could you sell it under global culture brands? There's a reason why I'm asking this before you answer.
Yeah,
You what stood out to me is I don't think I have enough time. You have a very big vision and you have to be very targeted in what you do, and you only have so many hours in the day, so many hours in the week while you're building a company and you're also
mhm.
trying to do all the things. That's what it sounds like right now. How important is it for the media's wife to be its own separate entity?
It's very important. And the
Okay.
thing is, just so you understand, Media's Wife and Beyond One Drop are sleuth mode. People just go buy the product. If I'm out and about, because Narrate MD is the anchor company,
Hmm.
our brand, right?
Okay.
I'm not touching the media's wife or Beyond One Drop at all. It just happens like when I was at the conference last week, people were like, do you have any books or whatever? I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. I said,
Hmm.
but the book that I do have under Beyond One Drop is about a politician, Kamala Harris. It's not about a scientist. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not going to be touching that every single day. That's why I said I
Okay.
had to modify the mission for it. But
Hmm.
yeah, those two are sleuth mode. They're just underneath the brand to bring in income.
Got
So,
it. Okay.
but
So,
Narrate MD is the only one that I would touch on a daily basis. Like,
okay.
that's the only brand that is, I feel that I can make the most money out of.
Hmm.
So,
Prior
I
to
forgot to add that part. Hmm.
prior to you just saying that, did you know that before you walked into or you turned on Zoom to have this conversation where how you had slated all of
Oh,
these
yeah. I've
Okay.
always known that because, like, you got to understand, since 2010, I'm like one of those people, like, I do it, but then I go back to the lab and I'm like, you know what? This is going to take too much time. So this has been written out forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I knew that in regards to being like cohesive and
Hmm.
clear with the communication, which I stated, which is one of my challenges or whatever, I was like, it's no way that I'm going to be able to do all of them. However, I
Hmm.
do need to bring in money
Yes.
because I can. One thing I learned as an entrepreneur, if you're depending on your, like, your, what would I say, your physical labor, you're probably
Hmm.
going to lose your business. If you're only dependent on your services and don't have a product to sell that's active while you're doing something else, I feel like you're probably not going to make it.
Okay.
And that's been
Okay.
my experience. Yeah. And so I was just like, well, I can only give energy to one. And I was like, what I can, I mean, I will give, to me, it's best for me to work with not WebMD, Narrate MD, because
Yeah.
it's easier to focus on one thing. But I was like,
Yeah.
I do need something making money so people
Hmm.
can, it's just like a buy-in. When I have, like, if I have on my website that I've not built yet, but for Narrate MD, it's like buy books, buy merch or whatever. So, but that's the whole setup of the company. So
So your priority is narrate MD and
that's,
getting clear and organized on how to move forward.
yes.
Okay. And the other two, they're doing what they need to do in order to boost the business, but you're not terribly concerned about
Yeah,
how the
because
day to
like,
day.
yeah, another reason why is because it was in 2024 when I was trying to operate all three of them, and it was just too much. And I was like, I only got enough room for one. But like I mentioned, like I do need to set up where people can like go buy whatever, but I'm not putting a lot of money behind marketing or talking about it because I need to one needs to win and then the others can I'll have time to set those up. But right now it's like what I can give is a merchandise for the media's wife and for the one drop, beyond one drop, ebooks.
Got it.
That's it. Yeah, because like with my Kamala Harris book, just as an example, I don't market that and I make money
We're focusing on Narrate
for
MD.
this project, yes.
Well, okay. All
For
right,
your
we got it.
project.
Well, and just so you know, we had to go through that conversation in
Yeah.
order to be very crystal clear about how you plan to move forward. Okay, so good to know, which means for the next two sessions, I'm not going to be focused on the other two brands. I'm going to be focused on the umbrella and Narrate MD. Tell me about how you have been operating Narrative MD so far. Like what are you doing as far as uh like you said you had the conference. What are the activities that you do in order to have that component running?
Well, I'll tell you how it started. After I was laid off from Disney in 2023, that's when I was like, okay, I got to do something. And so the first project that I did was actually producing a play based on a person having AIDS, HIV. And so that was a play, right? So then after that, I did another play the next year, which was last summer, right? And that was The Body Celestial. And again, it's science and art. And so after that, I was just like, okay, getting back to the physical labor. When I perform or when somebody else performs, it's based on their body. So if the play that I produce, I hate to say it, but God forbid they died, I don't have work. So when you go to my play that I performed last summer, it was a play form. I was like, what if something happened? Like, you know how we have now, like stuff going on in the world politically or whatever. Something could happen. If I can't get there, it's over. So I was like, okay, panels seem like a very good thing that I could do. And that's when getting to your point, the last project I pitched and got it, but I didn't follow through with it was for Toronto Film Festival. And so they awarded me that, but I had to do some other steps because they awarded me a slot at the festival. I was in the VIP area, whatever, but I had to bring forward sponsorship for 12,000. And to me, that's not a lot if I had a lot of time. I had 2 weeks to get the money, right? And so I was just like, you know what? If a major film festival liked my panel and I was able to pitch it with their top directors, I think this might be the thing for Narrate MD. Focus on panels, focus on both industries, the sciences, and like media. And focus, and I said maybe I need to offer three different options for types of panels with the subjects, but that is the service because I was like, if I don't want to moderate or produce, I can hire people to do that. But I was just like, for Narrate MD, panels. And I was like thinking it could be for colleges too. I mean, there's so many different things I could do with panels, but I was like producing panels. So
Is it true to say conference management and support for this niche audience is what Narrate MD is offering?
I mean, it's kind of like I would call it panel producing for film festivals. That's what it is,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And it's also like that for like I'll give you an example, like the conference that we just did, we had to produce the panel. And so the conference will buy you, like they'll buy your services, but
Mhm.
it's yours. They basically started off as plays, but I was just like,
Okay.
it seems more cleaner. I always use the word clean. Seems more
That's
cleaner,
fine.
more organized to just
Mhm.
offer panels because so many people are not offering this subject matter because they themselves don't have the experience to, I don't know, maybe they're not thinking about it. I don't know.
Offering a boutique type service to uh, film festivals and or organizations within that sector, which it could, if it's a film festival, but it's for that particular subject within the medical or communications angle. Okay, so that's one part of Narrate MD's business line. So we're going with medical related organizations, one, film festivals, two.
Mhm.
So there may be two different flows of how business is conducted with
Works. Yep.
those pillars, right? Okay. Okay.
Hmm. I mean, to be honest, I haven't even touched it since last August. I haven't
Mhm.
done anything with it because I was just like, you know what? I need a, first of all, I needed the time. I did not have the time when I was working full time as well. But I was just like, the way my mind works is like I said, if I was somebody purchasing from somebody, the easiest way is to me is soft power, right? So that's why I was like, let me clean up my personal Instagram. Let me expertise myself and start from there and then educate people. Educate, I don't want to say educate the sales pipeline, but it kind of is.
It
So it's kind
is.
of like expert, like make myself an expert or share what I know already.
You're an expert.
Yeah, share what I know already. And then, like, if people are interested, or they'll be like, oh, yeah, I saw you at a conference, or, we would like for you to produce this at XYZ or whatever. I'll do it. But I was like, the thing that I have now, the tools that I have now are social media. And that's the
Mhm.
only reason why I was like, let me clean up my socials and go there.
Okay.
And so the socials is basically introducing myself to people, but
Mhm.
it's a component of my business. But I was like, where can I get started the quickest and use the tools that I have? So,
So your marketing
but I do
channel.
need a game plan because I want to be able to, like, my vision is I want to be able to have like a PDF with my offerings, right?
Mhm.
And then just pitch it to sell, you know?
So you said you wanted a PDF with your
Yeah,
offerings?
like a pitch
Okay.
deck. Yeah,
Okay.
like a pitch deck.
Okay.
Hmm.
So your media strategy is social media channels.
Yeah.
This has worked for you well in the past, I assume.
Hmm. But this one is more intentional.
As of the last 45 minutes or so, we've talked mission statements, we've talked strategy, we talked about our priorities, or your priorities rather. And now I'm hearing, okay, this is what I know I need to move forward. I need a pitch deck. I need to, figure out how I'm going to present myself, as you say, with the cleaning up your socials and being very intentional of your marketing efforts.
Yeah.
I always do check-ins, and you already know this. How does it feel now versus when we first started talking?
It feels better, like it feels cleaner and more organized because I was able to get to the meat of the work, starting
Okay.
to work.
Okay.
Yeah, because like where I'm at now is I need, this is just how I think. I need the socials clean, and I don't want to talk, I don't want to bother that every day. Like my website, because I have a website for myself and I have a website for my business, right? I don't want to touch that. I don't want to, even with my socials, I have it on a plan. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And those videos are already shot, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've already produced them, edited and everything, right? So the thing is, I want to be able to sell on an everyday basis. I need customers, clients, So
Okay. And we're
Mhm.
going to get into this a bit more within envision and execute. We may be kind of going over into envision a little bit because we
That's
did quite a bit of evaluation about where you are and where you want to go. You typically get clients.
I just contact the person that's in charge of sales.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Would it be fair to say that because you had so many other things going on that there wasn't a set time devoted to business development?
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, and also I will be honest, when I'm working a full-time job, I have not given myself like worked on my business full time. So it's like the last time I didn't have a job was the last time I secured a client, you know.
Okay,
And it's
okay.
like now when I got laid off, that's why I'm like, you know what, I need to clean this up because even with a job, I want my business to be running. And like even if I'm not able to do it myself, at least I can hire somebody to do the sales, you know. But I'm one of those people like I like to do it myself just so I can write out company policies and procedures. So who if I have to hire somebody, they can follow those. So
Nice. You had mentioned it had a one-page business plan. I'm thinking we may need to revisit that for
I think
envision
so
and
too.
execute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, but right now, what I have for your homework is you may get something else, but what I have for your homework right now is writing up your mission statement
Okay.
for Narrate MD. You're pretty good with global culture brands already. You're very, set in how that's supposed to go. But since this is the driver, this is what you are putting your energy into,
Yeah.
you have got to be very clear about how you're going to move forward. So, believe it or not, when you set up a mission statement and you're happy with it, you feel comfortable, like you could communicate this and other people can understand where you're coming from, a lot of things will fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
You will begin to know, okay, this is how my day needs to be laid out. This is who I need to be contacting, the frequency and how often I need to be in contact with people doing my networking and all that. And then also the business plan too. Have homework, mission statement, and also reflection on this conversation about becoming more clear
Mm-hmm.
the why you are doing this. And I'm telling you, it's going to settle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great to hear that you are guns blazing, so to speak, going forward with global culture brands
Mm-hmm.
and getting clear on how you're going to move forward. We are almost at the top of an hour. Thank you so much, Masha,
You're welcome.
for sharing a bit of your life and a bit of your background today because you know this is going to be recorded. Other people will be able to see it and
Yeah.
glean some wisdom from it. So I appreciate it so much. And in about 2 weeks' time, we'll be back at it again with envisioning and execution.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Masha.